I often talk to many entrepreneurs, and I say that in the future, it might be just a few employees who will save your company. Just a few people might create a new product that becomes a hit and saves the entire company. Look at the current film industry, like Disney and Marvel. Even if many movies don't make money, one successful movie is enough to keep the company afloat. Therefore, you need to reduce control and increase the vibrancy of this ecosystem, boosting the chances of creating a hit product. For example, whether Fandang Reading Club could succeed, we didn't know in the early days. Looking back now, we can't simply analyze and say it was because we did certain things right. Those who make such judgments are often overgeneralizing. In reality, if you ask me to objectively analyze how Fandang Reading Club succeeded, I can't simply say it was because we did these 3 things or those 5 things right. There was a lot of randomness, a lot of risk involved. There were many times when if one thing had gone wrong, it would have been over. So in this situation, how do you foster those future-saving ventures within your organization? The key is to reduce your control and betting. If an entrepreneur thinks they've mastered all the secrets and knows exactly how to make the company successful, they tend to bet heavily on one thing, often taking loans and investing a lot of money into one business. They believe their past successes are due to their skills and competence, but they may not realize they benefited from favorable conditions. If there's even a small vulnerability, they could lose everything. This is why we say that in business, you must avoid arrogance. You should have great respect for the ecosystem and strive to create more opportunities for growth. This way, the ecosystem might produce a hit product like Fandang Reading Club years later, with a significant element of luck involved. I often use the terms mechanistic state and organic state. What is a mechanistic state? When people assemble a car, they use Newton's reductionism. Newton believed that everything in the world could be broken down into parts, and if you understand each part, you will understand the whole. This makes sense and works in the automotive field because the causal relationships between each car part and the final result are clear. Things with clear causal relationships are called simple systems. But if you think deeper, can you understand an entire ant colony by understanding each ant? You can't. An individual ant is simple, and you can understand it, but the whole colony is complex, and you don't know where its intelligence comes from. Understanding a single neuron is fine, but when billions of neurons come together in the brain, they create intelligence, emotions, and imagination. These causal relationships are very unclear, making it a complex system. If an entrepreneur sees their business as a simple machine, 20 years ago, I believe many businesses were like this. Buying materials, processing, sales channels, and employee motivation, thinking that's all there is to it. But now you'll find the whole ecosystem has changed dramatically. A department that was once a cost center, like content production, might now be a profit center. Those who used to make short videos for fun and didn't seem like they were doing business are now generating huge revenue. So, the cause and effect relationships in today's business systems are increasingly complex and unclear. At this point, we need to reduce our reductive thinking. When we open any short video platform, we still see many people teaching others how to do business. But in reality, you'll find that big companies grow organically, not manufactured. No one can succeed by simply copying a successful business. Even if you look at 2 successful companies in the same industry, you'll find their growth experiences are completely different. So I have a saying: every successful startup is an original creation. This means that a company grows by constantly overcoming challenges, adapting, and developing its own culture, methods, and routines, step by step. It's not about dissecting what the industry leader is doing and then replicating it. You might also use this method to teach your children, right? If you do, you'll say, that top student is taking certain classes, so I'll enroll my child in the same ones. That student is reading certain books, so I'll have my child read the same. But it doesn't work like that. This only causes pain for both the child and yourself because you're treating a living being as if it were a machine. So from a business perspective, if reductionism no longer works, what should we do? We need to believe in something called self-referencing, which I mention in this book. This is a concept from biology. Self-referencing means that as genes in your body start to combine and produce new cells and tissues, they continuously self-reference and grow bigger, like a snowball effect. Whether it's personal growth or business growth, the most important thing is what that self-referencing genetic fragment is. There's a book called The Robot Rebellion, which I've talked about but hasn't been released yet. This book summarizes it really well and calls this concept memes. In our bodies, we have biological genes, but in culture, the fundamental elements are called memes. What changes do memes bring to a business model? I summarized it in my book. Good memes should meet the following criteria. First, respect common sense and recognize authority. In traditional management concepts, we believed authority was crucial. Even past entrepreneurs would say that a company could survive without leadership, but not without execution, and that even wrong decisions must be executed firmly. This sounds terrifying today, because individual capabilities have been greatly amplified. Rapidly executing a wrong idea can cause disaster. So in my company, I advocate that everyone allows me to speak. Even though I'm the founder, my words don't have to be followed or executed. If everything I say must be executed, the cost of my words would be too high. And if I say something wrong, it would lead to huge waste and costs. We require frontline workers to make decisions, those who can think deeply about the issue, who are immersed in it and constantly pondering it. These people should make the decisions, not someone high up, overseeing many things. When that person is asked, "Boss, what should we do?" and only then starts thinking about it, giving an off-the-cuff answer, it leads to the meme of the organization being iterated and amplified, causing huge risks and costs. This is the first characteristic of a good meme: respect common sense and recognize authority.